Mr. President, what role did President Monawasa do from 2001 to 2008?
Well, just to start with, President Mwanawasa um, played a very good role. He brought about the hippie completion because he had put up good measures on a good finance minister that was able to help him run the economy well. But above all, Mwanawasa fought very hard to remove corruption, so he never tolerated corruption. So it's like there was good financial governance of the country, the management of financial resources were well managed, and through his policies and the planning, Mwanawasa was able to have debt-free. Zambia became debt-free during his time, and he was running the economy of Zambia was very good, and the dollar was able to manage because he fought corruption, never allowed systems of intolerant high levels of corruption. So that helped in to for him to have a well managed economy. And also Mwanawasa was the vice president in 1991. So he had the understanding where the MMD group, where they thought Zambia could go in their first strategic plan. So he implemented what was already there. So he had already understanding on that one. So this is why you see that Mwanawasa's government has been one of the best government in administrative or financial resources so far, second from that of President Kaunda.
Okay.
Yes, in the MMD government.
So, how did President Rupia resolve the issues that surrounded him?
Yeah, when you see President Rupia Banda, he was just completing the projects that Mwanawasa had, because after Mwanawasa died, there was a presidential by-election in 2008. And then that, because Rupia Banda was vice president, so that just saved him now to be adopted as presidential candidate under MMD. And people thought, let him just complete the project. President Rupia Banda, what helped him to resolve issues that surrounded him, despite him being under pressure from President Sata of the Patriotic Front in the opposition, he became tolerant and also focused on developing the projects that Mwanawasa had left. So we will see that even during Rupia Banda, the economy of Zambia was still stable. It had not yet collapsed because he was just completing the project. And also Rupia Banda was able to unite the Zambian people together. So there was unity still in the country of Zambia. There wasn't much high levels of political violence. So this is actually the reflection that he learned to resolve those issues by being tolerant. Rupia Banda was a little bit tolerant. Yeah, so that is how I will reflect on that.
So, what role can your leadership do? Because you seem to have so much knowledge on the presidents that we've had in the country.
Thank you so much. My leadership and other leadership that we need to do is that they need to reflect on the past leadership, like the way President Sata also, when he came into power in 2011, when Zambia changed government, he was a man with vast experience. And when you look at President Sata's achievement that he did, was because at one time President Sata and Mwanawasa, they were under one government, under Frederick Chiluba. So they understood the journey where Zambia needed to come and where Zambia needed to go. But unlike in our situation that we have political party leaders, they don't even have a good reflection where Zambia is coming from. They don't even have a good reflection where Zambia is and where Zambia is going. The only thing they know is that we are going to change the economy, we are going to do. So can they have a clear concept of the Zambian historic background of political leaders, and then they will be able to know where the country of this nation, Zambia, needs to go. Us as FDM, if we are awarded an opportunity to run this country, I think we will be able to use the mechanism and some of the measures and the values of past leaders, how they tackled the issues that surrounded them during their time. Because the only change that we have now is that there's just improvement on technology, and the generation that we have now is the youth that want to see things happen for them and are not tolerant when they see things are not happening compared to the generation of those days. So as FDM, we are going to ensure that the Zambian people, the 73 tribes, are well united. The church play their role, because the church are the ones that are supposed to play their role by guiding the nation. So the church should be given their full authority to run, because Zambia is a Christian nation. There must be the full understanding on the role that God should be acknowledged, and that things should be run according to a Christian and biblical values, that also the opposition need to be embraced in the governance of the country. Their views and their ideas need to be incorporated. And this is the only way we can see that Zambia is well developed, because if that aspect is not done, then we will see that there will be always missing of gaps in the running of the country, because those other groups that have got idea on how they can help in to strengthen the governing system, because they are not consulted or they are not respected, there's no dialogue, there's no corporate governance system, we will always be seeing the country failing after one point or another. We need to see a built up economy, we need to see a well-run, smoother governance system. This is what we believe in as FDM and Federal Democratic Movement, and as Pastor Joshua Kony Matanga, who is also FDM party president and also 2021 presidential candidate. So this is the mode that we still feel Zambia needs
Pastor
to go.
Joshua, what role should be played by the current leadership, the ones that are in power?
My only message to those that are leading us now, the only role they need to play now is to unite the Zambian people, because currently the country is divided. They need to unite. The major role they should play now is to bring the people together. They should find an alternative to bring the Zambian people together. And if the Zambian people come together now, then it means the Zambian people have got different ideas. They will bring the ideas together and develop this nation. It doesn't matter who is the president. It doesn't matter who should become president. But what matters is that Zambia and the Zambian people should come together, and Zambia should develop. And if this is done in the faith of one Zambia, one nation, and people uniting, then that will be good for the Zambian people. It's not only about FDM being president, it's not about who, but let all of us, we should have a common understanding. Let's come together and have a solution to remove this nation from the current situation where it is. But for those that are leading us, their major role should be to unite the Zambian people as we go to the poll. So this is, I think, the only way that I feel Zambia should, because we're a peaceful nation, we're a Christian nation, we're a covenant nation, and we need to lead Africa in a peaceful environment, because the whole world is looking to Zambia as a peaceful nation. They reflect on our peaceful environment for them to have a peaceful reflection on democracy.
Mr. President, what Zambia needs right now is also to come out the problems that they're faced with. The high prices of commodities. What do you think could have caused this?
The challenge that has caused this is lack of dialogue. If the political players, the opposition and the ruling party could have been sitting on a dialogue, that could have been avoided. Now, in the political dispensation, this increase of price of commodities is a political syndrome, that there's the other group that have influenced the high price of commodities. Now that the price of commodities is up, they are pointing fingers at each other. So now the only way that the country can come out of this is that the Zambian people themselves, let them choose for a leader who is going to bring price control and bring adjustment in the economic management of the country, because once there is good roadmap in the economy, I think the price of commodities will still be lowered down.
Mr. President, what could be the issue that is making the failure to have the dialogue amongst the political players?
Because why the dialogue is failing? It is failing because people have already concluded, the political players have already concluded. This one is saying, me, I should now be next president. This one says, I should continue. So this aspect of self-insinuation, of thinking for yourself first, is what is causing this. But if they can tone down, sit on a dialogue, have a written document with the stakeholders, probably international delegates, that whoever become president should just concentrate on running the country. If there are some lapses that have happened, for instance, there's change of government, you just bring in restoration of or the cavalry. But don't waste time to say this one I'm taking him to court, I'm taking him to jail. This is the major aspect which is bringing in confusion now. Look at Congo. They signed when Kabila was with this new president. They signed. And after they signed, there is peaceful environment. I think this will help in also to provide a smooth transition of power so that there's no bloodshed. And this is the way that we're supposed to go. Now, the challenge why this is continuing is because other stakeholders made the statement that we arrest the other one who vote as a prisoner in 2026. So when you make such mistakes, it becomes difficult for you to correct them, because the other one also will say, I cannot be a prisoner since I am the one in power. I also use my machinery to show you that I'm in power. So that now deprive democracy. Why? Because of lack of wisdom in the political dispensation. So when you want to get the belt from someone who is there, you have to use a good method on how to get it. So we as FDM, if we are to run, I think we have got the best wisdom to cancel both of them. These are the major role that has caused such kind of contentious that we have. This one is also using his cadres. He say, okay, this group should not campaign. This group should not campaign. But you remember, we only have one Zambia, one nation. So we are all fighting for the common good of the future of our citizens. But in the way that we are fighting for the common good of our citizens, how do we fight when the same citizens are going to be destroyed in the wrangles of confusion? So which means the fight we have is in vain. It shows that people have got selfish interests hidden in their hearts and with a view to help people, but that using that as a weapon to get to the top job. So let them sit down. Whoever become president, as for us, we will still take it, say it is the will of God. Let him govern in the will of God and in the fear and of the Lord, and that Zambia is a Christian
Thank you,
nation.
Mr. President.
Thank you for this opportunity you have awarded to me. This is what I just had for the Zambian people. God bless Zambians as we prepare to go for Abu. Let's see who is your president. This is FDM party president, Pastor Joshua Kony Matanga, who is also 2021 presidential candidate. Thank you.